Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to tackle a topic that many of you who are selling your resale units often struggle with. The hesitation maybe to accept an offer or the feeling that your property hasn't reached its full potential price yet. This is especially common for sellers who purchased their units a few years ago and are looking to upgrade to a bigger property, maybe a larger 4 or 5 bedroom unit or even a landed home. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe so you will stay updated with more insights on property, selling, and investment strategies. Let's start with your entry price. Imagine you purchased a new EC 5 years ago at 950k and now your target selling price is 1.4 million. On paper, your gross proceeds looks very healthy. That's a 450k gain in just 5 years, which already puts you in a very strong financial position. However, the market doesn't always move in neat increments to match your expectation. So currently, the offers coming in are around 1.35 mil, 1.36 mil, and 1.38 mil, some with an extension stay element. At the same time, other units in your project are consistently transacting between 1.32 and 1.37 mil. Now, here's the first key consideration. Is it really worth waiting for the extra 20k to hit 1.4 mil when this amount is outside the average sales range? Let's put this in context. If your next property, say a larger 4-bedroom or a landed home was previously priced at 3.5 mil and is now at 3.8 mil, holding out for the extra 20k could cost you a potential $300,000 opportunity loss on your next purchase. Even if you wait another 6 months and then supposedly your property finally sells at 1.4 mil, consider the time value of money. That 20k increment is relatively small compared to the potential growth of your next property in the meantime. Every month your money is tied up in your current property, you are potentially losing the chance to secure your next asset at today's lower market price. Let's look at another scenario. Suppose you have multiple offers on the table, 1.35, 1.36 and 1.38 mil, each with slightly different considerations, some with early extension stays, some with faster completion. If you wait for the extra 20k, you could miss out on the offer with the most flexible terms or the one that gives you the quickest access to capital for your next move. In today's market, speed and flexibility are often just as valuable as the headline price. Another critical factor is the GFA harmonization and how efficient your unit's layout is. Today's buyers are savvy. They don't just look at location, they also analyze how efficiently space is used. So for example, right, if you compare two projects in Sengkang, District 19 solely, both are within walking distance to the MRT station. One project has the MRT right at the doorstep, but an irregular layout, while the other is slightly further from the MRT but has a more regular, usable floor plate. So many buyers will prefer the more efficient layout even if it's a pre-harmonization unit. The lesson here is that location alone isn't everything. Layout efficiency heavily impacts the perceived value and ultimately the speed at which a property sells. Let's take Lento as another example. Within newer projects, subtle differences matters. Like two-bedroom units might have the same headline per square feet each, but one has windows in the kitchen while the other has an enclosed kitchenette. Buyers comparing efficiency, ventilation, and natural light might prefer the one with the kitchen windows because it allows for better airflow and a brighter space. While it's not a deal breaker, but when buyers make comparison, these small features can affect your market perception and your sale speed. For older units, you also need to consider adjustments for AC latches, planters, bay windows, and other spaces that impact your effective per square feet. Two units with the same nominal GFA can be valued very differently depending on these factors. A logical seller analyzes these elements, factoring in how buyers will view the efficiency and the potential future resale value. Now let's go deeper into opportunity costs. Some sellers may hold out for a higher price. Sometimes they just want to wait and sell slightly higher at that 20k more. But in reality, it can cost you more if your next property is appreciating much faster. So for example, if the next property you're planning to move in has increased, like we mentioned, from 3.5 to 3.8 mil within a year, that is a 300k movement. In comparison, holding out for an additional 20k on our current sale may not be the most ideal or overall impact on your upgrading journey. So by securing a buyer at a fair market-aligned price, currently we may be able to lock in your profits and also position yourself earlier for the next purchase. And this gives the seller certainty in your financial planning, reduces the risk of chasing a moving target in a rising market. And there is also a practical and emotional aspect to consider. Like for example, accepting a well-supported market-based offer often provides clarity and allows sellers to move forward with the confidence rather than remaining in a prolonged holding phase. So generally during my listings discussions, we do not just look at the asking prices in isolation. We review the indicative valuation, we study the competitive listings, prepare a comprehensive market analysis of these units, of the recent transactions and the current supply, and we map out a marketing strategy together. Then at the same time, we also plan out the timeline and financial structure for the next home so that every decision is aligned with your overall upgrading objective. So how do you make a logical exit decision? Here are some actionable steps. Like when deciding whether to sell your resale unit, it's important to approach your exit strategy in a structured and logical way. Start by analyzing the realistic market transaction range within your project. By reviewing the recent sales, you can see where most units are actually selling. If the majority of transactions fall between, for instance, 1.32 mil and 1.37 mil, then aiming for 1.4 mil may be slightly above what the market is currently willing to pay. So understanding this helps set realistic expectations and avoid unnecessary delays. Next, we can also consider the opportunity cost, like we mentioned, associated with holding your property longer. While waiting for a slightly higher price may seem appealing, it's important to compare this potential gain against the appreciation of your next property target. So for instance, if the property you plan to upgrade, like we mentioned, is 3.5 to 3.8 mil, the missed opportunity of selling later may be far greater than the incremental gain of 20k on your current unit. So evaluating this carefully ensures your decision aligns with your long-term financial goals. You also need to think about how buyers perceive your property. Today's buyers are highly analytical. They evaluate layout efficiency, usable space, ventilation, and overall functionality. Even without the same project, buyers will compare the stacks, the unit facing, and the floor plan usability before making a decision. So understanding why a buyer would choose your unit over another in the same project, right, is crucial. Price alone does not guarantee a successful sale. The value they see in your unit's layout and the design often plays an equally important role. Finally, consider the terms and conditions of the offers you receive. Some offers may be slightly lower in price, but provide faster completion, more flexibility, or less negotiation stress, which can ultimately have a significant impact on your net gain and the timing of your next purchase. Evaluating offers holistically beyond just the headline price will put you in a stronger position to make a strategic decision. To give some context, I first connected with this seller when they were exploring one of my 3.5 million listings, which is this one we were sharing earlier. They had purchased their EC a few years ago, and looking back, it shows how much impact the initial entry decision can have on your future property journey. So factors like project choice, unit selection, and the timing all play a role in how smoothly the selling process unfolds and in your ability to upgrade to a larger asset class. The example we discussed, the 1.4 million expectation, is a real-life scenario where the seller eventually moved on. However, higher market prices for their next property, combined with certain conditions of their original unit, naturally added complexity to their selling journey. So the key takeaway is to do our homework before committing to a property, consider project demand, unit layout, market dynamics, and how buyers will perceive your unit. This ensures a more strategic exit today and position you for a smoother, smarter upgrade in the future. Hence, if you are hesitating to sell or struggling to let go, take a step back and analyze your options logically. Maybe you can consider the entry price, the current market transactions, the opportunity cost for your next purchase, layout efficiency, and your buyer's preferences. When you evaluate these factors holistically, right, you will often find that expecting or accepting a good offer now can put you in a stronger position to secure your next property and maximize your long-term gains. If you found this video useful, hit the like button and subscribe for more in-depth property insights. Drop a comment below with your own selling dilemma. I love helping sellers navigate these decisions with clarity and strategy. To summarize, selling your resale unit successfully today requires more than just looking at the asking price or our own personal target. The market has evolved, GFA harmonization has changed how buyers value space, and many buyers now prioritize efficient layouts, functional designs, and practical use of space over superficial features. And buyers' preferences and transaction quantums have also shifted, meaning that the value they place on your unit may differ from the price that sellers initially hoped for. And on top of analyzing recent transactions within the project itself and understanding the market trends, sometimes we also have to consider why buyers would choose our specific unit. And even if they are interested in this project itself, they will evaluate the different stacks, the layouts, the facing, and also the overall unit efficiency. So our unit must appeal not just as a property within a desirable project, but as a rational choice compared to the other units in the same project or comparable nearby projects. So ultimately, entering a project is straightforward, but doing like a safe, strategic, and also a clear exit plan is what maximizes your long-term gains. By combining transactions data, market analysis, layout efficiency, and your buyer's behavior insights, you position yourself not only to sell your current unit effectively, but also to move confidently into your next property upgrade. Strategic planning today ensures both a successful exit and also a smarter entry into your next investment. If you are currently considering selling and would like a structured breakdown of your unit's market positioning, buyer's profile, and how it fits into your next purchase timeline, feel free to reach out. And if this video has given you a clearer perspective, to like and subscribe for more data-driven insights to help you navigate your property journey with confidence. See you in the next video. Bye bye.